You look at the game of baseball and the transition of the game with all the rule changes and really the growth and the money, the aspect. Some of these players now are making hundreds of millions of dollars. You see guys like Seager, who was hurt a couple of years. He comes back, has a good season, gets a $300 million contract. Garrett Cole becomes available, and he gets a $300 million contract. There are teams now that have multiple players on their roster that has $300-200 million contracts. Are you surprised that players are making this kind of money now than they ever have?
That just goes to show how much money baseball actually makes. When we do collective bargaining agreements and all this stuff, and the MLB tries to downplay how much money that they get every year, and then a few months later they turn around and one team gives four dudes $200+ million contracts. It just it's condescending, but at the same time, in the game that we play now, just from what I've seen, especially the younger guys, all you have to do is have a really solid 1 or maybe 2 years. And then what happens is, if you're a high profile guy or a first rounder or whatever it is, they tend to pay you for the potential that you could be and not necessarily where you're at. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just kind of how it works, man. Like, you got Tatis in San Diego. Don't get me wrong. That dude's impeccable. Like, probably best infielder I've ever seen. But they gave him that contract at what, 24 years old?
2
something
years
like that.
into the league, yep.
They're paying for his security. They're paying to make sure that he's in a Padres uniform for the next 12 years. Mookie Betts, same thing. They're trying to make sure that he stays a Dodger until damn near he retires. And so I think guys nowadays, now that the market is starting to kind of even out a little bit, like now guys, other teams, the lower market teams, are kind of getting into the middle of the pack. They're trying to make sure that they lock up their superstars for a long period of time so they have no inkling of when to go elsewhere.
Another question from John Suggs. Very good question. When you were growing up playing in Alabama, was there a player you followed or wanted to be that was an inspiration to you or an idol in Major League Baseball?
Griffey, all day, every day. Being in Alabama, man, like, we didn't have any professional sports, so Alabama, Auburn football. But I've always mirrored shit until I got into pro ball, pretty much. My stance, the way I hit, the way I finished my swing, everything after Griffey. Is a guy that looked like me. I'm mixed. Being in the area where I'm from, you don't see too many black people playing baseball, to be completely honest with you. I was one of two on my high school team. I was the only one in my college. And then when we get into pro ball, the numbers even get smaller because every person that looks like they're black, they're probably Hispanic. And so I looked up to him because he played the game hard. He had swag out the ass, and everything he did just looked pretty and it looked smooth. And me being a left-handed hitter on top of that, I try to literally mirror every single thing he did.
Bruce, what is it like over there? The food. I mean, over there in Mexico, I know they're very tacos and
enchiladas,
burritos.
Yeah.
What is the food out there like as an American?
You guys just made my fiance laugh. She just giggled. The food here is phenomenal. I played down here in 19, and we won a championship down here in 19. I was here for a few months in 20 before I signed with the Mets, and then I came back here in January when I started my rehab. And I personally love the food. I'll tell you this. I was at home. I was back in the States last year and in 20, and I don't think I went to eat Mexican food once. Because everything down here, but see, this is the thing. Even the American food down here is better. Like, when you go to sports bars, even like in this city, we play in a super small city, but we have, McDonald's, Burger King, Carl's Jr. We have not American sports bars, but Americanized sports bars and restaurants and stuff. And even the McDonald's here is better. I don't know how the hell that happens, but it's the same food.
Maybe they're cutting beef, bull's beef over there. You're eating bull's beef, not horse meat.
Everything down here is just, honestly, I think it's just everything I've eaten. The seafood's better down here. Obviously the Mexican food is amazing. But all the food down here is just so much better. I personally think the culture down here is just it's so much more like home vibes. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm from the South. So my mom fries things. Everything comes with bread. It comes with
soul
pasta,
food,
cheese or something. And it's like here, it's like everywhere you go, every restaurant you go to, everything is family sized, and it's amazing, personally.
The athletics, when you were playing there or in the Mexican League you play in now, is there one teammate that is a funny guy, a great personality, and is there a story that really stands out?
Honestly, I have two guys, two of my best teammates I've ever played with, and one of them I'm actually currently playing with down here. Coco Crisp. Mm-hmm. He's like my big brother. He took me under his wing in about 2013, my first big league spring training. And he's been kind of a mentor, older brother to me because I also don't have any brothers. Me and him have had some crazy times together over the years. And he kind of showed me the road to be a professional and also to be a big leaguer. But I'll never forget that my rookie year with him, we were in the my first road trip. Our first road trip was to Cleveland, I think, and that was when I got my first hit. But he was like, "Hey Max, I'll pick you up and take you to the airport." And I was like, "Sick, whatever." He comes over to my hotel, he picks me up, he pulls up in an AMG, the door flips up sideways. He was like, "Get in." I was like, "I don't want to." Like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "I don't feel like I belong in this car. You couldn't have just picked me up in a normal car?" Like, "Bruce, get your ass in the car." And I was like, "I might just get an Uber, man. I feel out of place." He was like, "Get the hell in the car." All right. So I got in the car and I was sitting here and I wasn't touching anything. And I was like, my hands were in my lap. I felt like a small child and I was in trouble. And I was just sitting here like, "So how was your day?" "Look good." "Yeah. Okay. Sick." Meanwhile, I'm riding around, like I'm from the country, man. Like you don't see like nice stuff like that. So it's like I'm riding around in a $140,000 car. And he's just over here just acting like it's no big deal. Like, dude got 15 years in the big leagues. You know what I'm saying? And so it's crazy, like, to think about it that way because now he texts me. He's like, "Hey, how's TJ going? This, that, and the other." Like, we've had some crazy times together. That's one of my most memorable welcome to the big league moments. And then my other guy is Josh Reddick. I know some people whoever's listening to this about to give me hell for it, but that he's one of the best teammates I've ever in my life played with. He's a great dude. He's a team player. He busts his ass, and he also looks out for he still looks out for me, and I'm 3 years younger than him. Like, and he still looks out for me even down here in Mexico. Like, he still takes care of guys. He still takes the time to teach people and to help people wherever he can, man. And he's also, honestly, as bad as it may look on the field, he's a very, very positive person. And so those two dudes are my favorite teammates for the last 11 years, hands down.
Well, with a name like Coco Crisp, I mean, what mother names their kid Coco Crisp? I mean,
technically his name is Covelli.
I know what his name is.
So technically.
Well, that's an Italian name, Covelli.
I always loved there was like I don't know if it was specific to certain cities, but there were always random jumbotrons that would actually say his real name, Covelli Crisp, instead of Coco.
His real name, exactly. Yeah. I know.
Well, I don't know where he got the cocoa. I guess he likes his hot cup of cocoa,
No idea.
Before we let you go, where did you meet your fiance, my friends?
Me? I met her out in Arizona, man. I was rehabbing, and we ended up running into each other because we had mutual friends at the same place the same night. And ever since then, we've been together.
Look at that. Look at that. A love story. Whenever you get married, maybe we'll broadcast live at your wedding. That would be great.
Probably not. He's over here dying laughing, but I'm going to keep this one to myself.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. and Mrs. Maxwell.
Exactly. She's over here cheering and shit.
Bruce, thank you for joining us, bud. We'll get you on soon again.
Hey, for sure, man. I have hell, I have time in the next month, dude. I'm supposed to be coming back about May 20th, around that.
Come out for my birthday, man. May 21st. May 21st is my birthday bash. I'll be 40, bud. 40 years old, man.
You have to bring the Mexican cuisine.
You know what? I'll do you one. You remind me of that day, and if I'm back on the field, I'll wear like some tape or something with "Happy Birthday" to you. I'll send you a photo.
Oh, that would be great. I will do. I'll have Speedy, the producer, send you something. Definitely.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, please do, man. I'm down with it, bro. Because that may or may not be my first day back on the field. So I'm May 22nd is 10 months, and they're giving me an extra month to be more than 100% ready to go. And I'm gonna open up here in Monclova. I owe it to the fans for my first game back to be in front of my home team. So definitely, man. I'll get whenever you need me, man. Let me know. I'll get back on. We'll talk about whatever you need. I just appreciate you guys not forgetting about me and reaching out.
Never. Thank you, Bruce. Tell your fiance keep laughing and keep smiling.
Hey, she can hear you, and she's definitely.
Thanks, Bruce.
Hey, you guys have a good evening.